All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 2 more minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Good afternoon. Looks like I have a guest in the house. Hopefully, me, Mike, and Glenn, everybody starts joining. I'm going to leave a disclaimer up there. And then at 1:50, when I told people we get started, I'm going to share my screen, talk a little bit about the market, and then we'll see what 2 o'clock is. Oh, hey, Hube, you're the first one here. Hope I'm saying your name right. I'm doing my best, man. If you have any questions, go in the chat. And otherwise, hopefully, let's give everybody a minute. What's up, Glenn?
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
It was fun last time we did it, so let's see if it's good again.
Yeah, right. So you don't have any positions open, right?
So I do have one on ANF. Here, I'll show you right now.
Okay.
Now, the reason
wow.
I'm leaving it open, it's an option play. Is it going to go to zero? You know, like, and I'm ready. I everything's there. It's a $425 option. So if Abercrombie and Finch were to go, by the way, oh, okay, I already put the disclaimer up. All right, so if Abercrombie and Finch were to go to zero, very unlikely, right? But I mean, even if it goes to 21, my max loss is probably $75.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I have I paid 420, like how Mitch put in the members area. I bought it for 425. So I'm up like $20. You know, I left one contract on. The thing that it hurt was that if this was just normal market, I might have had 3 or 4 contracts on the
no.
I just said 75. Like, yeah, 2 to 3 actually. 3 or 4 is too many. But I figured see what happens, see if we squeeze out $100. It's holding the position. Let's see what, you know, or excuse me, holding up above the zone a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
And then let's get into, you know, I don't know if you were paying attention when I was talking about this gold setup the other day. And then we've been watching for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if I can squeeze it. So there's the setup, right?
Right.
Now I waited for this thing for 2 weeks and I had a hit now. It literally just hit entry. I couldn't do anything with it. Gold's a little different. I don't want to hold gold.
Oh man.
Especially short. I could have bought the micro, but you'll see it ticked in right there, literally, 15 minutes ago, and it's headed down.
Oh wow.
You know, we'll see what happens. But I didn't get in. You know, I mean, this trading futures during this, not fun. So
yeah. No,
there's 2 of us.
Yeah. I just found out that Thinkorswim, they limit you to 3 trades a week
on options and stock if you're outside of the 25 grand PDT pattern day trade requirement, but not for futures. You're good without that.
Okay. All right. And what's a good starting amount for to trade futures? Yeah, let's say for minis.
For the micros,
micros, I mean,
they're on average about, to my knowledge, they're about $500. I have to check, but I'm almost positive they're around like the $500, per contract. So, 500 bucks, you probably make 50, 100 bucks per contract. Probably a similar return on investment to options per contract. So like, not perfect, but like $1 a tick, you get 10 ticks, 10 bucks, so there's a way to make this work. We'll talk more about it.
Great. Okay.
But here's that gold setup. Nothing to do with it really, because this is not the time. This just as easily could whip back up. But last time we did this, if you recall, this is what happened with the S&P and the SPY, right?
Yeah.
It hit supply and it kind of just stayed there literally just a few minutes before the announcement. So this is interesting. It happened just now, and I got a feeling this is gonna, and everyone saw the disclaimer, I hope. So I'm throwing that up because I'm about to say something controversial, and we have a guest in the house. You guys are okay, Mike and Glenn, but I don't know the other guy. So, so I'm throwing the disclaimer up. But just looking at this, getting these like bearish candles here, I'm kind of curious to see if this melts down here on gold. Now, is it nice to look like a hero to you guys that I had this zone and I watched it for so long? It would have been a lot better to make money off this, but it's just too risky given the scenario. You see, that's no wick. I like when that happens. So let's see here. Let's go to, I have the SPY over here because there's some interesting stuff going on. I'll widen this out. It jumped really nicely from a 30-minute level yesterday. That's basically the touch of it.
Oh, wow.
Move out. Now, the SPY on the other hand is doing nothing. The last, was this a 10-minute chart? So last hour or so, it's not doing much. But we'll see. Right below current price, though. Yeah, is it my favorite? But if I drop it down a little, I'm not even gonna. You can't get the yellow box because not good looking enough, right? So would I put money on this during a Fed announcement? No. I mean, the last time we did this a couple of months ago, Glenn, everything was like textbook. So I felt comfortable trading those. This is like an okay, not for me, but I'm curious to find out. 5 minutes. 5-minute warning. I'm going to knock. So we got this here. Let's see what happens. We're falling a little bit. No, not really. Let's go over to the. Should I use another workspace? Let's look at the S&P and see what the futures are doing. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming, bud.
Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Nice and sunny in California. Come on out.
Good for you.
Yeah, nice and sunny in South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
It's not nice and sunny here in Jersey or New York City, to my knowledge. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, doing kind of nothing. I mean, it's an hourly chart. I'll drop it down. But I think this is the same level Mitch put in Slack a little while ago. Let me highlight that. Then we'll drop down the time frame because we're getting there. 4 minute warning.
Hey, did Mitch post the inputs for the fib extension? Because my fib extension on TradingView isn't giving me the same thing.
No, that'll probably be with the. He's here.
I haven't actually done it yet. I'm putting together the notes. You for the fib extension, the extension or the retracement. The extension.
The extension is the 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
No. That's the retracement. The 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Do you mean 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1?
No,
or
not
the
that
1, 2, 3 click to get the
1, 2, 3 click. I thought that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I haven't posted that yet. It'll be up it'll probably be up tomorrow when I have the notes finished up.
All right, because I just got to put in the right inputs.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving. Yeah, same here. Kind of, yeah. It's not reacting to anything. Like, I mean, reacting to whoever has the news or has the inside info. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's getting bullish. All right, let's see what happens. So
Powell's
there's this.
sipping his coffee.
Excuse me, Glenn.
Powell's sipping his coffee right now.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So there's a little guy right there. This is a 10-minute chart. So I want to try and short the Fed announcement off of a 10-minute chart. If this rips, not exactly, but it's going to be a fun experiment. Let's put it that way. All right. So right there, see if we get price gets there in next couple of minutes and see what it wants to do. And then I think this would probably overlap a little bit more with the that higher level of the ES that Mitch posted and that we were just looking at. Oh, yep, gold dumping.
Oh, wow.
Ryan, did you open up the zip file that I put in
I
there?
did. I
Okay.
did. I got it right here.
Okay.
And I think this is where you're looking at the 4174.
And so that gray area there, I think that's the where you were just showing the SPY having bounced yesterday off the 10-minute. I believe that's kind of the same region.
Makes sense. You know, I don't know how I missed it. Again, the lazy or stupid on the SPY, just like a textbook level on a 30-minute chart. All I had to do was go one time frame lower looking at it. It didn't really look that good on an hour. Then you dropped down a half hour and it's like, oh, right here. Just had to missed all that.
Ryan, I have to tell you though, you never learn, because that lazy or stupid thing. And of course, I'm going to tell you, don't sell yourself short. You got them both covered. You always leave yourself open for that.
You must be talking to my wife. All right, let's see. 1 minute. Should be 2 o'clock, and we'll see. And if there could be no reaction. That happens. Where like you don't get it. It's just in line and it doesn't really do much. What is this?
There we go.
Oh, there's a reaction. We want that's wow. Look at that. Up.
Whoa.
Let's see, folks.
What do you say?
I'm not even going to look at that, to be honest with you. I'm curious, but I really want to see what happens here. All right, let's see.
Expecting a hike, so.
What's the S&P doing?
Yeah, as I posted earlier, to some degree, there's a 25 basis point hike already baked in. But like I said, this may only be part one, because at
Sure.
2:30 Powell talks, and then he's going to fill in the color about what's to come.
They actually raised by a quarter point.
Right, that was expected.
Yep.
So the point is, at 2:30 though, Jay Powell does the press conference, and then he fills in the color about, well, what are we going to do the rest of the year, and what's the prospects of a recession and all that stuff.
Look at this. This is what
Man.
folks.
Woo.
Look.
Hold on.
Whether you're a guest here or you're one of our students, like like Glenn and Mike and stuff. Look at this. Look how far, like how much we traveled in just that little. Now, is that a ton? No, but if you were trading this and you got knocked out of something or whatever, this is why we stay away from it unless we have something really, really juicy. And it's kind of got that. The last time we did this, Glenn, that had like the perfect elements of a good trade.
Right.
This I haven't
Right.
really seen that. I had my prediction on gold. I'm not wrong yet, but I ain't right exactly here on this green candle here. I
Right.
started to look. Was that even a 1-to-1? Let me check.
Wow.
And then it retraced all the way. Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, this looks
hit
like
the
it's gonna
stop.
break.
It's gonna hit the stop. You don't have anything on gold, do you?
No, I told you.
Oh.
So we waited for this, and Mitch, I was saying to Glenn before you got here, we waited for this freaking thing for the last 2 weeks, and it has to make entry now. Where we can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
And it is what it is. Yeah, more bad.
I've seen this movie.
I owe you a $5.
I've seen this movie. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Does that count as a bad beat story? Do I owe you a red?
No.
All right. Good. All right, guys. No, it's gold's rallying. The market's. I wouldn't call this a tank. It's just
Not like last time.
No, last time, Mike, and that like kind of that was just
Crazy.
textbook. That was like a textbook. Everything you wanted to happen. Now, there's still an opportunity here on the spot. I'm not touching this, but
Yeah,
came close. And who do I know? iPhone 8. I have one, but I don't know you. And Curtis, I think we know each other. Let me throw. Okay, getting bearish red candle here.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think anybody's jumping off of buildings right now.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, if it's in line with expectation, it's just kind of, you know.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Now that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if people got suckered into this little recovery. This is what they do to sucker in retail traders. Oh, the market's recovering a little bit, and then let's see if it takes it back down. There's like little things here that I could like warrant might be something, but not exactly like my cup of like just below current price. There's these little things that I could say, maybe I could break it down, but then you're getting into like the working too hard thing, and you're also not gonna. Could price turn off of like a 5 or a 3? Absolutely, but not my cup of tea to fight the Fed on with like a 2 or 3 minute chart. Hey, Kyle.
Oh.
Assuming you're a spy trader, Kyle.
Yeah, I just wanted to pop in here for a minute. Thanks for sending me the link.
You got it, man. It's been a while. Let's see what happens. Let's see.
I think a good thing here is that the regional banks, they're not selling off. They're pretty steady. And I think that's important. You have KeyCorp and some other ones are actually up a little bit, and the big dogs seem to be holding steady too. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. And hold on, guys, if you're a guest in the house, then I'm going to throw my calendar link. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, I'm going to throw it in the chat, and you'll get an email from me about it too. If it comes up, just pausing for a second because I had to go into my browser. All right, so you guys got that. Put this down here, resume share. And then for us, nothing really happened, luckily, with Abercrombie and Finch. It's kind of just holding. So I'm happy to see that. Glenn, we were talking about this before. No news is good news. I'm completely happy with that. Now this is just going to do whatever it's going to do. Could it still fail? Absolutely. But it, the announcement didn't hurt it or anything like that. So I'm happy about that. Mike, you said the regionals. Mitch, is that KRE is the regional bank ETF?
Yep.
All right, thanks.
Looks like it's holding steady, but it's lost a couple pennies on a few of these. But this thing will just whipsaw for a little bit until Powell actually speaks and people can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's really going to be, that's really the point of information today, because everybody already knew about the quarter point. So it's really all the color that he's going to fill in at 2:30 about what they're going to do through the rest of the year.
Wow, this is I caught myself and I didn't use the expletive I was just going to, but look at this dump. Oh man. Couple of bank bailouts and they drive your ETF down to the ground. Let's see what the SPY's doing. Not much, guys. I mean, some little something there, but it's just whipsaw, and I think it's gonna it's gonna do a lot between now and 2:30. I'd keep an eye on this. If you're, hey guys, actually, before I do that, because there's like Kyle, you joined. I don't think you're going to be a problem because I know you, but let me throw the disclaimer up one more time. So I did it at the beginning. But
that's three.
Yeah. But I'd be curious to see if one of these levels is going to get hit. And the next couple of minutes are on the way to his speech here at either this one or that one. I think this one probably equates more to that S&P level match Mitch put in the community channel like an hour or two ago. Let's see. I said we would just hang on for a little bit, but maybe we'll hang on 207. Yeah, I said 215, so I'm cool. Hang out if you guys are, and keep an eye on some stuff. Go back to gold for a second. Yep. Hey, Glenn. Oh well, even worse. It smacked through the level just enough. Just enough. This is why we don't do anything during these times, right? There would have been my stop loss right there at that back line, and now it's kind of just hanging out here. So it's as good a reason as anything just to skip a trade.
It's gold,
This trade-
gold doing gold, man.
Yep. And now it's one thing when we talked about like that Abercrombie and Finch setup. If Abercrombie and Finch went to zero, you could lose that 425 that you paid for the calls. That's it, right? And even if it got a little bit volatile, that was going to be a less than $100 loss. But luckily, it hung on. So, but wow,
Oh.
yeah. Look how volatile this is trading something like this. Smacks through the back of the level, hanging out here. Let's see. I'm curious though. Wow. Now that's upsetting. They're
A
both
quick
red.
question: isn't that good for the dollar though? If the gold's going down, am I wrong?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. Mitch, you'd probably say more to that. A lot of the correlations got kind of broken the last couple of years. But I'm not sure about gold and the dollar.
Can I take a minute and show people the that correlation thing?
Oh, sure. Cool.
Is
let me
this
start
a
doing
good time? Because otherwise we can just do it during the session at some point.
Yeah, why don't you just do it real quick? Because we got time to play. If something cool, I'll interrupt you and say like S&P's rallying or whatever. So yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead.
All right, give me a second here. Let me just.
Yeah. And we got some like Kyle's a serious trader. A couple of you guys I don't know as well.
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to bring. Okay, here we go. All right, let me grab the screen here.
All yours.
Okay, got it there.
Yeah, we got it now.
Okay. All right. So I've shown this before at some of our sessions, but we always have new people, and so it always bears some repetition here. So this is a first of all the website here, and I'll post it in the chat. So I'm going to post the link here. Okay, so it's this thing here. All right, so we got a link there. So what this is this is what a grid that basically plots all various sorts of futures instruments, and what it does is sorry about that. Try that again. All right, so now you see my Grateful Dead things there. There we go here. All right, hey, it could be worse. I mean, people, people surf for porn. It's like I only got a Grateful Dead show up there.
Who was the guy from CNN? I can't think of his name.
Cut me some slack, please. All right. Okay. So anyway, so this grid here basically plots, and let me just blow this up just a little here. So this plots various futures instruments, okay? And if you wand over it, it's actually very well designed. And if you wand over it, you can see what they represent. So on the left here, of course, these are the equity indexes. And then here is like the Nikkei, and then here's the 10-year bond, okay? And you can see then there's various currencies, the Swiss franc, Canadian dollar. And then as you go across, here's gold, here's platinum, silver, and then okay? And it goes and goes. And then, of course, it repeats down here. And so somebody asked between, what was it, gold and the dollar?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's gold, and actually right next to it is the dollar. So if we go down here and just find gold here, okay, and then here's the dollar right there. And you can see it's a major inverse relationship, okay? Because there's DX, there's the dollar, okay, and there's gold. That's GCM. And this red one right here that says -92. So for the last, and the way this chart works, and again, you should definitely, guys, play with this a little. So the way this thing works, so there's that -92 we were just looking at. I just made it a little smaller here so I could get to the controls here. You can see it says for the previous 100 trading days, which is obviously the last 6 months. What you can do is you can go into this thing and you could tell it, show it to me for the last 6 months, which is kind of like the bigger picture. But now if you want to see, well, what does it look like just for the last month? Okay. And in fact, it's actually not literally the last calendar month. It's really the last 30 trading days. So in fact, this would really represent more like, what is that, about 7 weeks, or, like 6 to 7 weeks there. So now if we go and look at the same thing again. So before we were looking at -92, okay, Now, okay, and then let's see, GCM, GC, and see that over here for the last month, it's only negative 65. So in a sense, it was a more pronounced inverse correlation over the last 6 months, but it's less of an inverse correlation for the last single month or the last 30 days. But anyway, so what you can do is you can kind of look at sort of various trends with that. And then, of course, you can just kind of see what the absolute amounts are. So the ones that are green, what they do is they highlight in this thing the ones that are not 90 in either direction. So the ones that are positively correlated in green, those are 90 plus. Those that are inversely correlated are negative 90 plus. Having said that, 80s are pretty significant as well. So just because you don't see something highlighted, okay, so for instance, here's the euro and, okay, that's not too surprising. You got the euro and the British pound. Well, that's 88. I'm not, not shocking that, that they're going to be fairly close together. But the point is, that's how this thing works, okay? And again, what you could do is you could then set it up, and they have it set here, 30, 60, 90, 120, and 180. So you can kind of see what the relationships are over, various periods of time. But anyway, this is kind of cool, because what you do is, like, a lot of times when I'm looking at certain, I don't know, let's say you're in an oil trade or something like that, and there's something that's going on and the world's going nuts, let's say gold is spiking or whatever, it's always interesting to kind of look and go, okay, well, I'm trading, let's say, oil or, Exxon Mobil or something. How's that going to be affected maybe by other things going on? Or let's say all of a sudden they say the bond market's going nuts or the bond market's tanking. Okay, well, how do other things relate to it? Needless to say, this is not a hard and fast thing, but it's another useful data point in your analysis. So anyway, I figured I would just share that.
Thank you.
Sure.
I do remember that, but that's a good refresher.
Yeah.
Mitch, it's funny because I keep putting this and seasonality on my list of things to work on. And then just, so I'm hoping us talking about this every couple of sessions when we do the coaching sessions will kind of remind me to keep that in there to help me gauge trades, get back into trades or stay in them longer, all that kind of good stuff. And I just, don't make the requisite time to incorporate it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, like I said, it's a data point. The same way, like in a chart, people will notice that there are Bollinger Bands or something in my chart. I am never going to trade off of a Bollinger Band, but it is a useful point of information. And it's also kind of a level 2 odds enhancer, and it's a confluence of things. And so it's another useful data point, but it's not necessarily, an absolute trigger on its own. And the same thing with correlations. They kind of guide and create a bias, or at least help you anticipate something. So anyway, that's the story on that, and I'm sticking to it.
Good enough. Yeah. All right, guys, I think we'll wrap up the next 5 minutes. I know the 2:30 Jay Powell thing is coming, but I don't know if everyone wants to hang for another that long. So let me share my screen again. Let's just do another look at the market. Start with gold. Wow. Not happy. I'm not happy.
What did that thing wick through and then it went right back to where it was?
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you very little.
Yeah, thanks for nothing. And like I said yesterday, or what day? Yeah, yesterday's coaching session, right? I say, we'll watch this thing. It's getting closer. I don't know if it's going to be today or tomorrow. I bet it's this week. And I was right, but you can't do anything with it because it happened literally right on the mark, right before the Fed announcement. So now, thanks again, they wick through it with the stock where a stock would go if you had got in on it. And then now it's just doing whatever it's go in the direction we wanted to, just without us. So thank you for nothing. Okay, S&P, and then we'll do SPY. Yeah, I mean, this isn't really much of this is obviously a volatile, this is a 15-minute chart. That was a volatile 15-minute candle there on the announcement there. Right there, right? That spike, and those long wicks will basically tell you there was volatility going on. But now it's kind of doing nothing. Maybe Mitch might be right with something, and they're waiting for that 2:30 announcement. But let's see. He's kind of doing nothing. So I mean, gone to sleep. And
You
I asked him
don't sound so surprised that he might have been right about something.
Only kidding. Only kidding. I don't trust anyone else's opinion in the markets. Grateful Dead. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. But yeah, again, it's actually a little bit more bullish here. It's a little bit more indecisive on the ES futures here. But I don't know. I think price wants to get to either of these zones today. I'm not saying they're going to work. I'm just saying either. I have a feeling today. Yeah, I got a feeling. All right, let's hang on a little bit longer. I got the time for now, and then I got stuff to do. Let's see. We've got two opportunities here. Hey, Mitch, do you know if he reads a prepared not transcript? What's the word? Prepared remarks. So I wonder, does that go out early too, much like the announcement, like we always talk about?
Well, what happens is, in terms of the process, yes, there are prepared remarks, but then after that, it's a press conference,
Yeah.
and then he gets peppered with questions. And at that point, then we're not now he's answering stuff sort of off the cuff, and they're not prepared remarks anymore. And so as a result, there's some color that inevitably gets put in this, and and you people try to read the tea leaves of all this stuff, and they may say, well, there might be some future rate hikes this year, but he may actually put a number on it, and like all of us, may not say it in the prepared remarks, but it's like, well, we're maybe 2 or 3, where it didn't say that in the prepared remarks. So that's the kind of stuff that people are looking for, and what the market will tend to react to.
Got it. And
Hey, Mitch, it's Mike Z.
Hey.
Real quick, when you were flipping through your screens, I noticed that you had an AMD chart.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've got worked up and you've got some zones there, or no?
Bear with me 1 second here. I was actually just just resetting my platform here, because it was actually running slow, and I didn't think I needed it for the moment. Yeah, I mean, it was actually a prior successful trade, and I was starting to work up some other numbers. But I think the earnings announcement, I think, had recently just happened. Anyway, I'm actually just reboot. After this session here, or if we're still on in 10 minutes, I'll definitely I'll share it one way or the other.
Yeah, earnings were after. Was it after the bell? I think last night.
Yeah.
And it's taken a pretty good beating, and I'm looking to sell some puts on that.
Sure.
And probably between like 75 and 77, I've got some things marked up. So if you go through it and you come up with anything, if you could let me know, that'd be great.
You got it.
Thanks, buddy.
Sure.
And Mitch, just for your information, Warren wasn't thrilled that I made fun of the deadheads. So now you got something else to talk to Warren about.
All right. Well, so now, all right. So I got one thing in my favor, because Mike does, Mike and I are at loggerheads about baseball, but then Warren is okay with the dead. So there we go. So that balances me out there.
And it's funny that I don't know if Warren knows that Mike is in South Carolina, and Warren's not a fan, because he's born and raised in South Carolina. He's not a fan of us northern transplants coming to his state. He's got complaints about the traffic.
Actually, it's funny you say that, because in North Carolina, there's a town called Cary.
Okay.
It's spelled C-A-R-Y. And the reason I bring that up is because I can't remember what it's, so people have made up this kind of funky acronym for Cary, and it's something like the community of something relocated Yankees. Because it's basically awesome. Like a whole bunch of people from like the New York metro area and Boston have kind of like gone down to Cary, North Carolina, and moved in. And so, like I said, they've kind of dubbed it the something relocated Yankees.
Yeah, Mitch is right. It's part of the Research Triangle up there, and they put a lot of there's a lot of business around that area, but they have a lot of those planned communities in Cary, and it's exploded. But down here where we are, I'm only about 25 minutes outside of Charleston.
Okay.
And the traffic in South Carolina we've been here for 12 years and it's just worse and worse every single year. You can't even move down here.
Mm.
Well, Warren put a nice comment to you guys, to all of us. Well, Mike, you've already been through it. He said, "Come spend your money and then leave."
Yeah. Well, is he a Gamecock fan?
Warren, turn your mic on or throw it in the chat. Let's see. I think he sent it to me. Wait, he said he's in James Island. Sorry, I think you got to hit that to everyone. You're sending that just to me, Warren. Dogs. I don't know what that means with DAW.
Oh, it might be Georgia.
Could
Oh.
be. All right, guys, we're getting a little bit of movement here into the zone as we approach that 2:30. I guess we're staying until 2:30. Well, I'll hang, guys, if you guys are hang with me here and see what's going on. Because now I'm really curious to see if these are going to hold. I like that some of the volatility was taken out on like that on that spike, but yep, on the dogs. Yeah, I guess you're right. Why is that only going to me? What did I do wrong? I mean, maybe when I booked it, I messed with the chat a little
Well, you
bit.
got to check there's a thing that says like everyone.
Yeah.
What is it? Hosts and panelists or something like that. You got to make sure it's something is set for everyone.
There you go. And I'm curious, and I'm gonna might be back pacing on something I just said a little bit, but I wonder if some of the volatility is out a little bit as we approach the 2:30 session. And I know it's see what happens. On that, you'll notice everything got real volatile right at 2 o'clock to 2:05, and that's where we got that slam down or that spike in gold, and now back down. So let's see what happens. Right now, we're just playing.
I don't know if you know how this works. Like when the announcement when at 2 o'clock when this thing comes out, as you pointed out accurately, there were prepared announcement. There's a prepared text which matches up with his. And so what happens is that gets issued, and then essentially you have kind of like computerized readers that actually read through it and are looking for kind of keywords and key locutions, and there's AI associated with it. And then as a result, once those are quickly, like almost instantaneously digested, that gets translated into kind of algo, kind of trading instructions or whatever. So that's kind of how it works.
No, the reading thing, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, Mitch. That's
it's not like there's people sitting there like shuffling through pieces of paper trying to read.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an awful lot like a big earnings report where you get the knee-jerk reaction to the revenue numbers, but then when the conference call comes on from the company, it's what they say about guidance that's
exactly
really move it.
This is exactly the same. Exactly, it's the same exact thing. Good analogy.
Good stuff, Mike. It's cool. I just in case anyone trades Forex, and it's kind of a guess. I'm kind of curious to see what the euro, like the other currencies, do in relation to this. I got a spike off of that, but nothing. Well, I know you're a little bit more interested in Forex, Glenn, but notice that spike you got. Saying, amazing. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that did anything as far as I didn't chart this the last couple of days. I guess because I found that CAD setup and it went really well, so I kind of left things alone. But let's go. Oops. All right, we're getting there. 3 minutes out.
Yeah, just keep in mind though, when it comes to the 2:30 thing, it really has more to do with just how the session goes and sort of when the questions come out. It's not like the same thing where there's like a data dump at 2 p.m. It's not going to be like that at 2:30. It's going to be, they're going to start talking to him. First, he's going to make his prepared remarks, which they've already digested. But then let's just say it takes him 10 minutes to do those remarks, or 5 minutes. Then they're going to start peppering him with questions. And that's kind of where the new stuff kind of emerges. And that's really not on a kind of an accurate schedule. It's just kind of like conversation. And whenever it comes out, it comes out.
So that's going to be kind of unpredictable, guys, and I think Mitch is right here. I'm gonna hang on till like 2:35, and then we'll jump off. If anyone is planning out the next couple of minutes and what they're gonna do. If you are a guest in the house and you kind of want to see anything, please throw it in the chat and we'll talk about it. Kyle, I'll talk to.
And just so everyone knows, the biggest earnings of the week are tomorrow with Apple, so that will certainly affect the QQQ and the NASDAQ, but also the S&P. So that's a big one. And they don't pre-announce, but they did say that MacBook and Mac sales were down considerably about a month ago. Tim Cook said that. So, I mean, I don't necessarily think their earnings are going to be weak. They're always pretty good. But if anyone's in Apple, just a heads up.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
It's good.
Yeah, and you saw the ruckus Glenn caused last week with Intel. So I mean, to be honest with you, Glenn, it takes
We ended up with a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn, you picked out a good level, right? So we had a good trade off of it, and the freaking thing held during an earnings announcement. You know how many things I've seen gap just below it? So all in all, you're pretty proud of yourself.
It was great, but I missed the stop, man.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
I think all of us need to figure out a way to start a company, lose $2.8 billion, and our stock goes up 5 points.
Yeah, it is kind of just mind-boggling how, counterintuitive. But of course, this is not news to anybody. But how counterintuitive a lot of stuff is. Even today, like where there was job creation was twice what the ADP number was, and of course as we know the more job creation, the more they're worrying about wage inflation. So again, it's kind of this counterintuitive thing. Job creation's great, then that sucks, and we hate the market now.
2:30 here. I don't know if he starts. Yes, I know. Yes. So far, well, not much. Check everything else. ANF going green. Let's see. And S&P should look just like SPY for now.
I got CNBC on now, guys, and he's just making his way to the podium, so the remarks will start now.
If anyone wants to know why I've got this messy chart of Target up, I was talking to someone a little while ago, and they bought some program that told them to sell puts on Target, and they sold puts around 224. They got the stock put to them at 224, and they're still holding. You'll see that note I wrote there, 224 average price. You will notice current price of Target is 156.42.
I hate when
I got nothing below current price to say it's going to bounce. Not to say it can't, right? Earnings are coming up, and I sent the guy a note just like, hey, just letting you know.
This is why bull put spreads are kind of a good thing.
I agree with that one. Yeah, it was all logical. He had like a sound thing. He just didn't have an exit strategy when something like this happens.
Well, yeah. I have to say, Ryan, that's like one of those statements that, well, yeah, and he jumped out of a plane, and he just didn't have a chute. I mean, yeah, no kidding.
Just saying.
On naked puts at 224.
Yeah, I mean, back, I guess, who knows when.
Oh God.
I didn't ask the time frame, but he's, when was it at 224? Oh, that's a great question, Mike. Up there. Right?
Good God.
238. I bet it was right there. It made a high, and it's like, it's going to stay around new highs. 224 down there. Yeah, and then for whatever reason or whatever the service told them, and then obviously Wow. Just, oh man, he must think he's doing good in good shape because at one point it was 137. Oh, anyway, yeah, that's a good lesson, you know, and hopefully, I don't know who's out here, but hopefully figures out a way to out of it. And
Hopefully it's just one contract.
Yeah. That one contract is
yeah.
still pretty, I mean, that one contract is still a real expensive, that's a real expensive loss, just the one
Yeah.
contract.
22,400.
Wow, that's rough. All right, we'll hang out 2 more minutes, see if anything moves. He's talking now, right, Mike?
Yes, sir. He is at the podium. I think he's making his prepared remarks. I don't think he's
Oh, okay.
taking questions yet.
Yeah, nothing's gonna move until the questions start.
All right.
So I think the first person that asked the question, where do you see interest rates at the next meeting? That's the one we want to listen to.
Doesn't Steve Leisman usually get this? the
Yeah,
first
he's great. He pounds him right with that right away.
Mitch, you like wine, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Jim here, who I'm sure you saw in Slack, couldn't make it. He actually lives in Napa. He works for a wine.
Ah,
So I'm putting a smart ass remark down. So he's getting it. Yeah, now we're getting a little bit of red action. I don't really have anything below to make me excited to say, all right, get there. Or
you know, I just have to say, if you looked at that chart that I had shared, there was nothing really below. So the only thing I really was hoping for was a spike up, because
Yeah.
stuff that was above, I thought I was offered some better prospects than what was below.
yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. And ooh, oh, okay. Now we're getting some excitement here. A lot more excitement. Okay, I'm glad we hung on. I was just gonna say let's get off, but now we're getting a little bit of action.
Oh, yeah, I do see a red candle forming there.
Yeah. And garbage. Tested. I mean, I could make something out of something in here, and I'm not exactly gonna work too hard at that for, well, what the hell? I got 2 minutes. So nope, nothing. Legit nothing below. That's not a good sign. And that yellow box there is from a 30-minute log that I already tested. Yeah, this isn't good. Let's see what happens. Nothing to hold price up. Let's see. All right, let's give it, guys. I know I said we got some action here, but it's like stalling, so I think we'll call it a day in like another minute or two, and then call it a fun conversation with everybody. And Glenn, I see you just paying back attention. We got a little bit of a move down, and Mitch and I were just talking about how there's nothing below current price to hold things up to make us excited about. Okay, I hope it gets down here. It's all. Oh, I gotta take these lines off before someone thinks I got something there. No, nothing. Garbage. A little bit more of a leg down. See what happens. And I think this is going to be our cue, even though market's coming down. Since we don't have anything below, it's almost like we got a little bit of a rally and we could drive it down. I'd feel better about it. But since nothing's really going on, I think we'll call it a day here, folks. If you are a guest in the house, I put my calendar link in the chat, and I sent you. No, I didn't send an email yet. I will send you an email with my calendar link if you'd like to talk more about what we do around here, and happy to share some good info with you. But for now, I think it's Mitch, I think it's a logical point just to call it a day.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. All right. Sounds good. Oh, wow. Okay. Just every time I say call it a day, now we're getting a little bit of a bullish candle here. Yeah, it's just going to be, I think it's just going to drive us nuts. Let's call it a day. We got hopefully some good information sources and good stuff to think about, talk about. And I will talk to everybody soon. Warren, Mike, Glenn, you know where to find me, and I will see you guys on Thursday.
Ryan,
Thanks,
I
guys.
mean, can either of
Bye.
you hear me?
Who was just talking? Warren.
Yeah,
You
man.
never talk. How you doing?
Hey, well, I couldn't get my dadgum mic to work. I finally figured it out. Hey,
You never talk on these. I've only ever talked to you on phone conversations. That's funny.
I know. Well, I had the mic, but I just didn't know how to hook it up. But while you were talking, I took the time to figure it out. So we're good to go now, buddy. You're in trouble now.
Oh God. Oh man. Now he's gonna want to chat. All of our meetings are gonna be ruined now.
You're gonna have to. You'll block me out.
Created a monster.
All right, guys.
All right, I'm glad you got that fixed, Warren. Look forward to having you contribute more during the Zoom calls, especially if you got a little break now from the boat. And I will see everybody on Thursday. All right, thanks for coming.
All right, folks. See you
Talk to y'all
tomorrow.
later.
All
Bye-bye.
right, see you. Bye, guys.
Well, let's see.